Welcome back to the channel Coin Buyers, where we uncover the hidden gems right from your pocket change. And today, you're not going to believe this. That plain-looking, ordinary little brown coin in your hand, yes, the 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin, could be worth not one, not 10, not even $100, but a staggering $323 or more in today's market. Sounds impossible? Well, you better sit tight, grab your magnifying glass, and stick with me until the very end, because this story is about to take you deep into one of the most surprising treasures hiding in plain sight. You won't want to miss this, so let's start with the basics. The 1984 Liberty 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln cent, was struck by the United States Mint and is one of the most widespread coins in America. Millions of us have held this coin in our hands at some point, maybe dropped it in a tip jar, thrown it in a fountain, or ignored it on the sidewalk. But this particular date, 1984, is far more important than most people realize. It's part of a long-standing American tradition, the Lincoln cent, which started way back in 1909, replacing the Indian head penny. And in 1984, this little cent would become a hidden jackpot for collectors everywhere. Let's go back in time for a moment. The year is 1984. Ronald Reagan is president. The economy is changing fast. And at the Philadelphia Mint, something happened. Millions of pennies were struck, but a few, just a tiny fraction, ended up being minting anomalies, or what collectors call errors. These errors, combined with low surviving numbers and high-grade conditions, are what make the 1984 penny truly valuable today. But even beyond the errors, the regular coin itself has some unique historical importance. This coin features the bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, designed by Victor David Brenner, a portrait that has now lasted well over a century. The words, "In God We Trust." At the top, a proud national motto. The word, "Liberty," to Lincoln's left, a symbol of our nation's core value. And the date, 1984, with a small p, or no mint mark at all for coins from Philadelphia. Flip it over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. And here's the kicker. The coin's humble composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper might not sound impressive, but it's not about the materials. It's about rarity, condition, and demand. So why on earth is this 1984 penny being valued at $323 or more? Let me break it down. First off, coin grading is everything. A coin in circulation might be worth 1 cent, but a coin in mint state 65 or higher, that means it looks brand new, no scratches, super shiny, is where the magic happens. Now, enter the 1984 double-ear variety. Yes, you heard right. There is a version of this coin with a doubled die error. Specifically, the doubling occurs on Lincoln's ear, making it look like he has a second ear lobe. Collectors go wild for error coins like this, and some of these have been auctioned for hundreds and even thousands of dollars, depending on condition. But even a normal 1984 penny in superb condition, and I mean almost flawless, is pulling in serious money in today's coin market. Why? Because perfect examples are getting harder to find, especially after decades of circulation. Coin collectors are always searching for these perfect survivors. And when a coin is both rare and in high demand, the price just keeps going up. Let's talk numbers. A 1984 Lincoln cent in MS67 red condition sold for over $1,500 at auction. That's right. 1 penny. $1, 500. Another coin with the doubled ear error went for more than $3,200. Yes, that's $3,000 for a coin that originally cost 1 cent, and in the current market, even an ordinary, mid-state 1984 penny can fetch $323 or more if it's graded and in demand. These aren't just rare cases. They're becoming more frequent as collectors and investors realize the true value of what was once considered spare change. Now, here's the best part. You might already have one. That's right. Go check your change jars, your coin banks, your dresser drawers, even your car cup holders. Look for any 1984 pennies, especially those in super clean, sharp condition. Use a magnifying glass and check Lincoln's ear. If you spot a second outline, that could be the doubled ear variety. And if you've got that, my friend, you're holding on to a serious collector's item. If it looks shiny and clean, you might want to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade coin could mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars added to your bank account. So you found a 1984 penny that looks promising. What next? Here's what you do: don't clean it. Ever. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. Handle it by the edges only to avoid smudging or scratching the surface. Get it evaluated by a reputable coin dealer or grading service. Compare it to known auction prices on sites like Heritage Auctions or eBay's sold listings. List it online, but be sure you've done your research so you don't underprice a potential jackpot. Knowledge is power in the world of coins. Who would have thought that a coin as humble and ordinary as the 1984 Liberty 1 cent would become a star in the numismatic world? It's not just a piece of metal, it's a piece of history, a symbol of American resilience, and for the lucky few, a golden opportunity hiding in plain sight. So the next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. It might just be your ticket to hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. If you learned something new today, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome coin stories, rare finds, and money-making tips. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin. We'd love to hear your story. And remember, that little penny might be worth more than you ever imagined. Stay curious, stay lucky, and keep hunting, treasure seekers. Today's collector's market. Don't blink, because one detail could mean the difference between pocket change and a pocket full of cash. Let's rewind time. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Before this, U.S. coins never featured actual people, only symbolic images like Lady Liberty. But in 1909, the U.S. Mint broke tradition. For the very first time, an American president appeared on a circulating coin, and that man was Lincoln, the great emancipator. This bold move revolutionized American coinage forever. The original design was crafted by sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, became a story all their own. The front, or obverse, features a profile of Lincoln, facing right, and above him, the solemn motto, "In God We Trust." To his left, the powerful word, Liberty, and to the right, the year of minting, in our case, 1991. Over the years, the Lincoln cent has gone through subtle changes. The original wheat ears on the reverse gave way to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, honoring the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. That design stayed on the back of the penny until 2008. Now, let's zoom in on the 1991 version, a coin that was part of a long-standing tradition, yet holds surprises that only careful collectors and lucky finds can uncover. Part 2. The 1991 Lincoln cent, the coin that could be worth hundreds. So why is the 1991 Lincoln cent getting so much attention from collectors lately? First, let's look at the basics. In 1991, the U.S. Mint produced this coin in massive numbers at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. While these were common at the time, it's the condition, rarity, and errors that are now making some of these coins extremely valuable today. You might be thinking, wait, it's just a penny. How can it be worth over $323? Let me explain. There are a few key factors that skyrocket the value of a 1991 penny. 1. Condition: coins in mint state. That means no scratches, no wear, with original luster, can fetch huge premiums. A 1991 penny graded MS67 or MS68 read by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can easily reach hundreds of dollars, sometimes more depending on market demand. Point 2. Errors and varieties. Some 1991 Lincoln cents have been found with striking errors, such as double-dyed versor parts of the design appear doubled, especially visible in Liberty or In God We Trust. Off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. Broad-struck coins, where the coin wasn't properly contained during minting. Clipped planchets, where a chunk of the coin is literally missing. These mint errors are rare, and rarity equals value. 1991 penny with a clear DDO error sold at auction for well over $500. Another, with flawless red coloration and MS68 grade, reached over $600.30. Composition. Although the composition of the 1991 cent was 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, earlier cents were solid copper. Occasionally, a copper planchet from an earlier year can get mixed into the minting process. That creates an unintentional rarity that makes collectors go, now here's what you really want to know. How much is your 1991 Lincoln cent worth today? Let's break it down. Circulated 1991 penny with moderate wear, typically 1 to 5 cents. Uncirculated between $5 and $25. High grade MS66 and above anywhere from $50 to $250 plus. Error coins range from $100 to $600, depending on visibility and condition. Top tier examples, especially if certified by PCGS or NGC and possessing rare errors or exceptionally high grades, can be listed for $323 or more in auction houses and collector platforms. This isn't just hype. These are real numbers, seen in heritage auctions, eBay sales, and coin dealer records. The demand for high-quality and error-rich 1991 Lincoln cents is rising, and collectors are always hunting for the next gem. And remember, prices in the collector's market are fluid. A penny worth $323 today could be worth even more tomorrow, especially as interest in rare U.S. coins continues to explode. Part 4. How to identify a valuable 1991 Lincoln penny. Okay, now you're probably running to your coin jar. But what should you actually look for? Here's a checklist. Look at the date. Make sure it's 1991, with or without a DE mint mark. Inspect the condition. No heavy wear, clear details, original shine? That's a great start. Especially in Liberty or In God We Trust. Any odd cuts, off-center features, or flattened edges? Use a magnifying glass or loupe to catch tiny flaws or minting quirks. If you suspect you've got a valuable one, get it graded by a reputable grading service. A professional certification boosts value and assures potential buyers of authenticity and condition. Here's the fun part. These coins are still out there. That's right. This isn't a museum-only collectible. The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted in such huge numbers that millions are still in circulation today. That means your pocket change, old piggy banks, or coin jars could be hiding one of these high-value coins right now. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt. And the best part is, it doesn't cost a thing to start looking. So now that you know the secret power of the 1991 Lincoln Liberty 1 cent coin, what are you waiting for? Check your change. Go through that forgotten drawer. You might be sitting on a piece of numismatic gold. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more hidden coin treasures, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to turn your pennies into profits. Drop a comment below if you've found a rare 1991 penny, or better yet, share a photo. I'd love to see your finds and feature them in a future video. Remember, every coin tells a story, and some of those stories are worth more than you could ever imagine. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your pockets be full of priceless pennies. Today, the 1993 D Lincoln 1 cent, also known as the Liberty cent, featuring the powerful inscription, "In God We Trust." Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was worth just a penny back in 1993 is now making waves in the coin market, with some rare examples commanding prices up to $323 or more in today's collector scene. How and why is this happening? Stick around, because we are going on a detailed journey through the history, design, minting, and incredible value of this humble yet potentially life-changing coin. Let's get into it. The origins of the 1993 D Lincoln 1 cent coin. To understand why this coin has become such a hot topic, we have to rewind a bit. The Lincoln cent series is one of the longest-running coin series in United States history. It was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This was a major moment. For the first time in U.S. history, A real person was featured on regular circulation coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original Lincoln cent included the famous wheat ears on the reverse, which lasted until 1958. In 1959, the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, in honor of Lincoln's 150th birthday. That design stayed until 2008, when the Bicentennial Series was released. So, the 1993 D penny belongs to that classic Lincoln Memorial design era, which makes it part of a beloved generation of U.S. coinage. The 1993 D designation means it was minted at the Denver Mint, which struck over 6.4 billion of these pennies in that year. That's right, billions were made. But here's the twist. Despite that massive number, some specimens from this year are now becoming rare collector's items worth far more than face value. Why? That's where the story gets good. What makes the 1993 D Lincoln cent special? Most 1993 D pennies are still worth just a penny, maybe a few cents if they're in good condition. But some are high-grade, near-perfect coins that are getting serious attention in the market. Coins graded MS67 or higher by NGC or PCGS, the most trusted grading services, are incredibly difficult to find, and then there's the hunt for errors and varieties. Some 1993 D cents may exhibit fascinating mint errors, like off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These kinds of coins, even though they began life as a lowly cent, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and condition. The specific $323 value you're hearing about today comes from recorded auction sales and private collector purchases. Some collectors are so determined to complete their Lincoln series with high-grade, flawless examples that they are willing to pay premium prices for coins that the rest of us might overlook. Imagine having a 1993 D penny sitting in your drawer that turns out to be a rare gem, now worth $323. That's the thrill of coin collecting, the design that stood the test of time. Let's take a closer look at the design details that make this coin so iconic. On the obverse, you'll see the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. Above his head is the motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has adorned American coins since the 1800s. To the left of Lincoln is the word, "Liberty," and to the right is the year 1993 followed by the D mint mark, identifying it as struck in Denver. On the reverse, you have the detailed rendering of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely enough, especially with a magnifying glass, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial. Above the image reads, "United States of America," and just below that, the motto, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "Out of many, one." At the bottom, the denomination, 1 cent. Even though it's just a penny, every single detail in this design carries layers of history and symbolism. And that's what makes coins like the 1993 D so much more than pocket change. Why are some 1993 D cents worth $323 or more? So, here's the $1,000,000 question. Or maybe the $323 question. Why is a common-looking coin like the 1993 D Lincoln cent worth so much? The answer lies in a few key areas. Coins in perfect or near-perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher, are extremely scarce. Collectors are constantly hunting for the highest quality examples to complete registry sets. As mentioned earlier, rare errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on foreign planchets have all been reported. These minting mistakes create one-of-a-kind coins that can skyrocket in value. Low survival rate. While billions were minted, very few have survived in pristine condition. Most were used, worn down, or damaged in circulation. Finding one in gem mint condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. The Lincoln cent series is one of the most collected in the world. With millions of collectors competing for top examples, prices can go up fast. All of this combines to create a perfect storm for rising value. That's how we get to a market value of $323 or more, and that number could increase as collector interest continues to grow. The value breakdown. What should you look for? Let's break it down even more clearly so you can know what to look for. Worn or circulated 1993 D pennies, typically worth 1 cent, maybe up to 5 cents. uncirculated but average quality. Can go for 10 to 50 cents. Mint state values range from $1 to $10. MS 66 examples, typically $15 to $50 depending on IAPL. MS 67 specimens. This is where the value jumps. These can bring in $150 to $250. Top tier MS 67 plus or with special errors. These are the $300 plus coins. Some have hit $323 or higher, and rare errors could go for even more in auctions. Now here's a little secret. If you find a coin like this and it's uncirculated, it might be worth submitting for professional grading. It's not cheap, but if you hit the jackpot with an MS 67 or an error coin, it could be well worth it. Final thoughts: check your pockets. So what's the takeaway from today's video? The 1993 D Lincoln 1-cent coin is a prime example of why coin collecting is such an exciting hobby. A penny minted over 30 years ago could now be worth hundreds of dollars, simply because of its condition, rarity, or a fascinating mint error. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, be sure to check those old jars of change, look through coin rolls, and don't underestimate the value of a single cent. Your next rare find might be sitting right in your hand, and it could be worth a small fortune. Remember, coins are more than just currency. They're pieces of American history, tiny works of art, and sometimes, they're treasures hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1993 D Lincoln cent and want more long-form videos on rare coins, valuable finds, and collectible US currency, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Tell me in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny in your change, or if you're going to start searching now. Who knows, maybe your coin will be the next big headline. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, coin collectors. Today? That's right, this seemingly ordinary penny might just be worth $323 or even more in today's collector's market. And in some rare cases, thousands. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the fascinating story, the history, the hidden errors, the value trajectory, and why this 1995 Lincoln cent has caught the attention of collectors and investors all around the world. So stick around until the very end because you do not want to miss what makes some of these coins so incredibly valuable. Let's rewind the clock to the year 1995. Bill Clinton was president, eBay had just launched, and DVDs were being introduced to the world. But at the US Mint, something seemingly routine was happening: the production of the Lincoln 1-cent coin. Now, let's talk about the design first. The 1995 Lincoln cent features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or heads, side. This portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, has been in use since 1909. Marking 1995 as part of the long and proud lineage of one of the most famous coin series in American history. Just above Lincoln's head, you'll see the proud motto, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word, Liberty, and to the right is the date, 1995. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This design remained on the back of the penny until 2008. But here's where the magic happens. While most 1995 pennies were made to standard specifications, a small number had a dramatic and very noticeable error that made them worth a fortune, and sparked a surge in interest from collectors everywhere. Enter the 1995 double die obverse. This is one of the most well-known and most sought-after errors in modern US coinage history. But what is it, and how did it happen? A double die occurs during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment. As a result, the details on the coin appear doubled, most noticeably in the lettering. In the case of the 1995 DDO, if you look closely at the word, Liberty, and especially at In God We Trust, you'll see clear and dramatic doubling. You don't need a magnifying glass for this one, it's visible to the naked eye in many cases. Now, here's where things get really exciting. These 1995 DDO cents were accidentally released into circulation, which means anyone, yes, even you, could have found one in their change at the time. Many people did, and others unknowingly spent them. tossing away hundreds of dollars in the form of a 1-cent coin. The U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies in 1995. To be precise, more than 6.4 billion Lincoln cents were struck at the Philadelphia and over 7 billion came from Denver, but the double die obverse? That's a much rarer story. Only a small fraction, believed to be under 250,000, were minted with this dramatic doubling. And while that might sound like a lot compared to the billions of normal ones out there, it's a needle in a haystack situation. So how do you know if you've got one? Start by examining the lettering on the front of the coin, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. If those letters appear to be shadowed, duplicated, or even slightly blurry, you may be looking at the famous 1995 deal. Now to the question everyone wants to know, what's it worth? Let's start with circulated examples. If you've got a 1995 double die cent that's been through the ringer a bit, with wear and tear, it could still be worth $40 to $150 depending on its condition. But if you find one in uncirculated or mint state condition, the price skyrockets. Coins graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC, that's a professional grading service, can easily fetch $300 to $500. And yes, there are even higher prices. A perfect MS67 red example has sold at auction for as much as $3,000. In regular sales and the current coin market in 2025, these coins are trending again. Thanks to viral videos, social media, and renewed interest in era coins, demand is going up. On platforms like eBay and heritage auctions, listings of these coins are seeing huge traffic, and high-grade examples are flying off the shelves. So yes, that 1995 Lincoln cent with the bold "In God We Trust" and Liberty doubling could realistically bring you $323 or more, even in the open collector's market. If you want to check your 1995 pennies, here's what to do. Get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe with 10x magnification. Look at the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions for any doubling. Compare it to verified pictures online of the 1995 DDOs sent from trusted sources. If it looks like a match, consider sending it in for grading from PCGS or NGC. Never try to clean the coin. Cleaning damages it and lowers the value significantly. And even if yours turns out to be a regular 1995 cent, don't worry, this hunt is part of the fun. That next coin could be your jackpot. The Lincoln cent is more than just a coin, it's a piece of American history. Since 1909, it has been the most collected and most circulated coin in the US, and the 1995 edition? It represents a turning point in modern coinage, a time when minting technology improved, but rare and exciting errors still slip through. It also represents the enduring love people have for coins. That a single penny, worth just 1 cent on paper, can become a treasured collector's item worth hundreds or thousands of dollars is something truly magical. And who knows, maybe one day, the 1995 double die will be worth even more. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your coin jar, dig through those old drawers, raid your grandparents' penny stash, because you just might be sitting on a 1995 Lincoln cent worth over $323 or more. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting and want more coin secrets, rare finds, and hidden treasures, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a valuable update. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1995 penny, or any rare coin story you want to share. Who knows? Your coin could be the next viral treasure. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, coin family. You never know when that penny in your pocket might be worth a fortune.